Dang, we are back. We are back. Bacon. That seems like it should always be the rallying call for Saturday morning. Let me kind of center myself here in the screen here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. This is Saturday Morning Cartoons, and along with my lovely co-host, Jerome Connor. As you can see, Jerome is there. We'd like to introduce you not only to our other regular co-hosts, but we have a guest host. They seem to be connected by DNA or something like that. And we've seen her before. We love her when she's on, and she's on again. The lovely, fantastic Rachel Rose and Rosemary Rose.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. It's Saturday. We've been gone for 2 freaking weeks. Is that right? Am I right on that?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Jerome, you muted. Let me unmute you, Jerome.
There we go.
All right. There you go.
Hey, Kermit Flail.
You know. Oh my gosh, she's up early. She's not a teenager, but she's new in the adulthood area, and she's up before
The
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, the crack of noon.
Yeah, something like that. And how you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing great, Mark. It's good to be back.
Yay! We are back, guys. We are back, and Rachel's co-hosting the show. But before we get there, we're going to talk like we always do. Each show, we're going to do what we call morning garbage, and it's basically talking about our lives a little bit, what went on during the week, if anything fantastic, any occasion, if something really spectacular has happened recently. There's my buddy Joe. Boy, do I have some stories to tell you guys about Joe and Jennifer.
Yeah, but do you have the blackmail photos? That's the question.
I'm gonna have to do it while I guess Rachel is getting, but I'll find. You ever see a vampire without fangs? Okay, all right. I got one, and the good thing about it is he can only respond through typing. He can't explain himself verbally. So I will construe this as much as I possibly can. Jennifer, now, outside of her normally being hot, she was extremely hot over last weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm talking about my annual jaunt to Dragon Con last weekend, where I met up with Jennifer, and I spent a lot of time with these guys. I even got them into back doors into the main room. I don't know what it was the Georgia Philharmonic Symphony, who each and every year does movie soundtracks. Makes you cry because it's just so fantastic. Anytime I could, I didn't want them to stand in a line that's always wrapped outside and around the building. I just tell them, hey guys, meet me outside the ballroom, and I bring them in. Went to dinner with them a couple times. Actually, yeah, we went the first night, Thursday night, and then I guess the last night, which would have been Sunday night, we all had dinner with groups of people. It was great. So that was it. It was basically Dragon Con. It's the same scenario as each and every year. I had a nice long 20-minute sit down with Bill Shatner. I wanted to discuss some things with him, and he hangs out in the same green room that I hang out, so kind of ushered him to the side, and we kind of spoke for a while and talked about certain things. I moderated a bunch of different panels: cast of Doom Patrol, cast of Gotham, cast of Titans, cast of this, that, which was fantastic. But I'm going to tell you, I'm old. Where there are billions of people in the hotels and cosplay to the nines, I think I was in bed almost every night except one, but every night before 10 p.m. Honestly, now one reason I want it's 24 hours. It's ridiculous. In fact, when I woke up and went downstairs one morning at about 6:30 in the morning, there are a bunch of Rachel-aged people sitting in the lobby, boombox jamming. I said they never went to bed. No way could they have gone to bed. Otherwise, they'd still be in bed. They wouldn't be up at 6:30. They just never went.
Mark, did you go to dinner at Denny's at about 4:00 to get the senior discount?
No, because I'm asleep. I had at that point it would be 90 minutes before I wake up. But
no, 4 in the afternoon is when you go with all the old guys.
No, I'm just plain old. My favorite part, of course, is when I work the parade. When I do the parade, because I organize a parade relief team, and we kind of squirt people down when they look overheated, walking the parade in big costumes, blah, 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 blah. But I do a pre-show where I ramp up both sides of the street, kind of dueling against each other. And then I call out all the cosplay kids under the age of 8. Of course, some of my photos will show that they're grown adults in that line that I pulled out into the middle of the freaking street because they think they're kids, regardless. And there were some beautiful cosplay kids. And these are people of Atlanta who aren't even there for Dragon Con. They just love the parade each and every year. And they were dressed. I had 2-year-old, 3-year-olds out there with me. They were just absolutely beautiful, fantastic kids. That's my favorite time. Okay, so that's my week and weekend. How about you, Jerome? What'd you do? Anything spectacular happening, good or bad?
No, just the standard. Went to work, did the stuff around the house. Gwen is now officially in 4th grade. We did a school event last night, and later today, it's the beginning of the fall soccer season. So Gwen has her first soccer game today, and
wow,
we're just getting ready for our, the tag sale that we do every two times a year. So I mean, just the usual busy stuff that we do all year.
Yeah. What's the temperature like up there right now?
Well, it has been in the 80s. It's now down into the 70s. This morning it was like 58 degrees. Oh. So, we're ready to run outside in our shorts to really enjoy the nice, cool weather.
Rose, Rachel, you can relate. We ain't going out in our shorts in that nice, cool weather. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No. T-shirt and shorts, and hop down to the pond and take a swim in this weather.
Whoa! Oh, my God. You guys are Vikings. You're Vikings.
Don't forget, up here on New Year's Day, we run out into Boston Harbor and go swimming.
Don't ever call us Florida man again, okay? Don't ever say Florida man to us, okay?
Yeah,
we got common
sense. But most of the guys are, shall we say, well insulated.
Yeah. Well, I got it. How about you, Rose? Rachel, what's exciting in your life right now? Before we move on to Saturday morning cartoons, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to use my segment to pump up my mom. She's got a lot of stuff going on with her book.
Yes.
Ooh, I am so proud of you.
Got accepted to a company called Find a Way Voices. And what they do is they'll take my book and distribute it to over 40 different platforms. So within the next month, my book should be available, not just on Audible, but on several other platforms. So stay tuned.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. If you guys have not read Rose's book, you need to go and pick it up and read it. I hear it's fantastic. This is no slight towards Rose whatsoever. I just don't read. But since I'm going on a cruise soon, that's probably when I will take that, finally read that book.
You can get the book and listen to it while you're chilling out by the pool.
That's even better. Yeah. I will definitely plug in your book then. So imagine that. And then I'll write a review about it.
Yes, please. Be kind.
All right. So here we have the fantastic Rachel. As you can see, the resemblance. They are mother and daughter. She there is no adoption here whatsoever. Rose did go through the labor process that we men think is, we can handle that. That ain't nothing. What are you screaming for? Yeah. Shut up, Jerome. What are you screaming for? Why are you whining? I know that don't hurt. So yes, that's the lovely Rachel. This is your show. And Rachel, I'm really interested in your topic today. What the heck is this all about?
Okay, so this is a show. My mom basically came up to me. She says, Rachel, please. I have no time, but I told Mark I would get a show done for him. You have to help me. So I'm like, okay, what about a show that's about cartoons that were either screwed over by or actively fought with what the network or the network that they were on or the broadcaster, whatever they were on, they were either fought with them or they were completely obliterated by. So I thought that would be an interesting topic because there are so many cartoons that basically end before their time, or cartoons that have stuff like Pinky and the Brain, which we'll get to, that makes more sense when you know what's going on behind the scenes. So I thought that would be a really interesting topic to not only get into the cartoons themselves, but what's happening basically behind the curtain.
That sounds very interesting. How come you didn't come up with that topic, Jerome? What's wrong with you?
Because I'm not smart enough.
Oh, okay. Good answer. Good. Well, I'm intrigued. So go ahead and take us along this journey. Rose is going to be running the videos on this. I'll be running the photos as they pop up. So go right ahead. Get started.
Okay. The first show I want to talk about is Real Ghostbusters. And I actually have a question for all of you. How many episodes did Real Ghostbusters have that actually aired on the network that weren't syndicated?
How many episodes did the Real Ghostbusters air? Animated Ghostbusters air?
Yeah, I think it was on ABC, right?
Yeah, that was on ABC that weren't syndicated.
Because remember,
Well,
it became a syndicated show.
Jerome, I was going to go with 22.
13 in the first season, and then they had over, I believe it was 80 episodes.
Right.
Whoa!
Now,
What?
Uh-huh.
the thing is, people, other than the syndicated ones and those original 13, people don't talk about it all that often because of what was going on behind the scenes. And I just learned about this myself. So this is basically what inspired this entire thing, because this show got destroyed. When you think of Real Ghostbusters, you think of that 80s cartoon that actually cared about the children's intelligence, that actually appealed to adults. But I'm curious, Jerome, do you know what happened after the first season?
I think it was a Disney thing, wasn't it? Where Disney just didn't want to do the horror type of thing, because a lot of horror got pulled off of that time around that time.
No, it wasn't Disney. It was ABC. And for seemingly no reason.
Religious right?
What?
Religious right? The religious right?
No, we don't honestly know. All we know is that ABC brought in a consulting company called Q5 to fix/save the show when it was doing fantastic. And there's actually, the first clip we have is actually an interview from one of the main writers on the show during those first 13 episodes in the syndicated package, J. Michael Straczynski of Babylon 5 fame.
Was it ABC or was it?
It was ABC.
It was ABC.
J. Michael? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And we have an interview of him talking about what exactly that Q5, that consulting firm, wanted from the show after season 1 was a huge success. And so let me just pull up that.
Did they freeze? Did we get him, Jerome? Yay, we got him. Oh, damn it, they're back. Did it start?
Yeah. No, that hasn't started yet.
Yeah, it has started.
No, we can't see it.
Not on our side.
Oh,
here it comes. Here it comes.
At the end of the first season, the first network season, we had the #1 show in Saturday morning. We were getting killer ratings, killer reviews. Everyone loved us. So having the most successful show on the air, it therefore behooves the network to try and fix it. They went out and hired consultants to come in and give us guidance on what kids wanted to see in network television shows. What they wanted to see was kids. The kids wanted to see kids on television. And my response to that was, no, why not have a show with adults? And it's working, the kids like it. They're father figures in that sense. And they said, no, bring in Junior Ghostbusters. All right, what's your other notes? Slimer should be more of a character. He should have more of a leading role on the show because kids like that kind of thing. What's your homework on that? Can I see your data? Can I see your research on Slimer? And they, of course, didn't have any. They were just speaking extemporaneously, but somehow it now became Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters and the Junior Ghostbusters. All right. What else you got? Well, we think that the characters should all have clearly defined roles. And those would be, well, think of it as a body. At Peter, it's the mouth. Okay, I can buy that one. Ray, the mechanic, is the hands. All right, I'm okay with that one too. Egon is the brains. Perfect. I got no problem with that. And Winston, our only black character, was the driver. Hang on. Hold the bus a second. So these guys, the white guys, have all the really smart roles and making the one black guy into the driver? Show me a research on that one.
There you go.
Of course, they couldn't provide. I'm already getting amped up over all this. Then he said, now let's talk about Janine. Okay. Janine's completely wrong. Why is she completely wrong? First off, she needs to be more nurturing. She needs to be more of a mother character, a mother to the boys who were there at the firehouse, not yelling at them, but supportive of them. Put her in more dress-like outfits, skirts and blouses, not pants. Make her more nurturing looking. Change her glasses, because children, they said, are frightened by sharp objects. There should therefore be round glasses, not pointed glasses. And they laid this panoply out in front of me with other PhDs. I said, this will save the show. Save from what? I had no idea, but they saved the show. And I said no. No to point A, no to point C, all the points in between, no. If you do these things, I am leaving. And that which brought you the #1 show, one thing you would think you'd want to keep, won't be here anymore. And ABC Network said we have to support our BS&P and our consultants, and we have to do these things. No, you don't. You have free will. It's not predestination. No, we have to do it. So I said, then I have to go.
I know that clip.
Wow.
Yeah, I know that clip was quite long, but I couldn't find anything. That was just pure venting from Michael Straczynski there.
It's really good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
I had no idea either. That's, like I said, that's what inspired doing this, because I just Googled, like a quick Google search to start the show, shows that had network issues, and Real Ghostbusters showed up, and I'm like, Real Ghostbusters? Really? I thought that show was pretty good. What the heck happened? And I hear about all this stuff. Jerome, did you know about this? Because you're like our expert.
No, this part I didn't know. I know that it had moved from ABC to syndication, and I do know that the change of the title, but then they changed it back. They got rid of the Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters after, I think, like one season or whatever, because it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. That's the main takeaway from this. He was right. None of these changes that the stupid consulting company came up with worked. Like, this is why I hate marketing people, to be honest, because they don't know anything. People who claim to know what they do with kids broadcasting do not have kids. They have never interacted with a child, ever. They have data, is what they have.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing with Janine also, I'm like going, Janine's the sarcastic, wise person that basically tells these people to knock off being stupid.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nurturing, no, you don't nurture and smack people upside the head and go, knock it off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And really, yeah. And I'm not a fan of studio people and even marketing people getting involved with a creator's vision. What the creator, I mean, you accepted this in the first place, and now once you get into it, you want to say, okay, we want to make some changes because so-and-so said this doesn't work, or we need to get people in to judge you. Sorry, doesn't work that way. So it's called Nielsen ratings. Those are the ones that judge. You don't bring in a focus group and say, I don't like this, I don't like that. No, you go after your audience, see what the audience says.
That's the thing I don't get is that, okay, you're the #1 Saturday morning cartoon and you want to make changes. Okay, I can understand certain changes because you've got advertisers.
Right.
Because you want to push, a toy line or whatever. But some of the stuff he's talking about, I'm going, okay, so now you're going to dramatically change the cartoon. And I guarantee you when they have done that, the ratings drop dramatically, and can be seen on live action. On primetime.
I just want to say, let's look at some of these junior characters that you see in shows. I mean, like,
nobody likes them. Like, as somebody who was a kid, like, let me give you an example. Batman and Robin. As a child, I love Batman. I hate Robin. Let me explain. I could grow up to be Batman. I am Robin's age. I can't be Robin. Therefore, it takes the fantasy, the imagination, I could be this person when I grow up out of the equation when you add these stupid kid characters, because they're the children's age and they're already not that, so there's no way they can grow up to be that.
Well, I was thinking about the Super Friends and how they had those two kids with
Wendy Marvin.
Yeah, and then the twins. They went over so well.
All right, I'm going to say this last point. Let's move on because I know we can get on this forever. Notice that Robin is the only one who's wearing his underwear and no tights. It's bare-skinned legs. Yes. It's like, whoa, I'm never going to be Robin. No way and no way. All right, what else you got, Rachel?
Okay, the next one is my favorite because it's one of the only ones on here that didn't actively destroy the show. Pinky and the Brain. Love it. Absolutely. I remember saying on here before I like it more than Animaniacs, which is true. And part of that, like rewatching it as an adult, is how they basically told the network off in a certain way. So the network for this, I don't have it. Jerome, you're our expert. Where did Pinky and the Brain air on?
WB.
WB, yeah, WB network. Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, delete that last video that you guys showed. Get it off out of the lobby.
Okay.
Cool.
So, WB did not understand the popularity of Pinky and the Brain. I know this because of some of the suggestions that were made for the show. These include adding a third member, like the duo don't work, so that tells me they don't understand the show. Adding more recurring side characters, which is one of the only things that they, I guess, gave them. There were Snowball, I forget her name, some female. They're forgettable. So that didn't even work, even though they asked them. And here's the main thing that I laughed at when I saw the suggestion. Make them more likable. Have you seen the show? Like, Pinky is one of the most likable characters in like all of television. I don't understand that.
And Brain is a supervillain trying to take over the world. Why would you want to make him more likable?
Exactly. They didn't understand that people like to root for the villains.
Yes.
They kept thinking, oh, these people, they're so unlikable. People aren't gonna like.
Hey,
it's already working.
Team grew. you know.
See, here's the thing. Okay. And this is where the dynamics are tough, okay? You can root for the villain, okay, as long as they're not a psychopathic killer. Okay, you're really not rooting for the Joker, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You're rooting for Mr. Freeze because he wants to make his wife alive again.
Yes, there's a sympathetic issue in
right.
Yeah.
You love Brain because he's trying to take over the world, but you know he's going to fail for some reason, okay? There's a sympathy there for it. You love watching his plans build and then crash down. Okay? That's the thing. You don't need to make him any more sympathetic. All
right, Rachel, keep going.
Okay, sorry.
So
that's all. I'm going to drop you, Jerome. But go ahead, Rachel. Keep going.
Back to the first point that the network wanted, the adding of a third character. The showrunners, the writers, kind of did that in a way to tell the network that it was a horrible idea, and that's how you get Pinky and the Brain and Larry, which is one of the best episodes in the series for the sole fact that it tells the network, back off, your ideas are horrible. And they changed the theme song for that specific episode, and I've got a clip of that.
Oh, good.
Watch them freeze. Did they freeze? Yeah,
yes.
They froze. Yeah, we can talk about it. For those that don't know, every time they press a video clip, they freeze up.
Gee, Ray, what do you want to do tonight? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain.
And Larry.
It's Pinky and the Brain.
And Larry.
One is a genius, the other's insane.
The other one's Larry.
They're laboratory mice.
So's Larry.
Their team cat is nice.
Along with Larry.
They're Pinky and the Brain.
And Larry.
Brain,
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 And Larry.
brain.
And Larry.
Before each night is done,
Larry, wake up.
their plan will be unfurled
All three of them.
by the dawning of the sun.
Larry likes the sun.
They'll take over the world.
And Larry will help.
They're Pinky and the Brain.
And Larry.
Yes, Pinky and the Brain.
And Larry.
Their twilight campaign is easy to explain.
Larry will explain it.
Prove their mousy work.
Along with Larry.
They'll overthrow the earth.
And so will Larry.
They're Pinky and the Brain.
And Larry.
Brain,
And Larry.
brain,
And Larry. And Larry. And Larry.
brain,
Larry.
brain,
Larry. Larry. Larry.
brain,
Larry. Larry.
brain.
Larry says narf too.
So freaking annoying. My God in heaven. So freaking annoying.
I think that's the point.
You know what's funny? What's funny is the Animaniacs would also do things like basically say no to the network right in the middle of their show because they'd have somebody show up like from the censor department, whatever, and they'd slam them all the time.
Yeah, I think Dennis's point here. Hi, Dennis, by the way, in terms of Rob Paulson having entirely sure. If you're giving a role and you told, hey, we want you to act like this, we want you to say this, we want you to say this, he's going to do his job. Okay, technically he's going to do his job. But for those of us that are watching this, I'm thinking of every sidekick that irritates Scrappy Doo, for God's sakes. The kid on the Partridge Family, for God. Who the hell was that kid on the Brady Bunch? All those guys come into my mind every time I see Larry right now. You know. Go ahead, Rachel. I'm sorry, dear.
I was just going to say, I don't know, like, either the network was in on the joke and they're like, okay, that's funny, or they were so incompetent that they were like, oh, I don't get it. Yeah, this is just a normal episode.
I think they were totally serious. They had an idea and they thought it would be great. And there's the result of it right there.
No, I mean, like, the network that let it air, WB, the people who the episode was actively insulting, let that episode air. Did they not understand?
I believe they didn't understand.
Yeah. I mean, if they wanted to be serious about it, do something different every week, like the Scooby-Doo movies. You know, I mean, do something different. If you're going to have Larry, then have Jeanette, then have Grandpa Jones, then have Dolores, have the damn cat. I mean, the cat would be great, though.
This is not unheard of, where on more than one occasion, executives will look at a show and they'll go, especially successful ones, and they go, I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And this is obviously one of those cases.
Yeah.
Where they didn't get the joke with Larry.
No, Larry, I know. I get it. I didn't think it was necessary, but oh well. Sorry. What else you got for us, Rachel?
Okay, so the third show I want to talk about is another one that I discovered in my research for this. Angry Beavers, the Nicktoon that ran from 1997 to 2001. They had a few scuffs with the...
Oh my God. We lost them. How in God's name did that happen? Wow. I think they were going to talk about some beavers. We should talk about Johnny Quest now. Okay. I think
we didn't have any problems with Johnny Quest. There we are.
Oh, Rachel, my apologies. I have no idea what happened. Okay.
Do you guys like have beef with Angry Beavers on here or something?
Oh my God. No, not at all. Not at all. Go on.
Okay.
Go ahead. Kill us with kindness. Why don't you?
So, the show had a few problems with the network.
A few.
Yeah, a few. I don't have this clip because I couldn't find it, but this one is hilarious to me. They said shut up in one of the episodes, and the network didn't like that, so they bleeped the shut and shut up, so it sounds like something completely different when it's...
Like he's got the hiccups. Up.
So that's...
In what context, Rachel, if I may, in what context was shut up used? Was it in acknowledgement of someone telling someone, yes, so-and-so just robbed the bank, and you say, shut up, or were you really shutting someone up?
One of the beavers was telling the brother did something. Haven't seen the show. I think it's Mom. You've seen the show. Which one is Daggett?
I don't know.
Okay, basically the brown beaver.
Good job. Good job.
The brown beaver does something to annoy the tan beaver, and the tan beaver says, "Shut up, stupid."
Oh.
That's
okay.
Oh, this sounds like Facebook jail. That's what happened.
Exactly.
That's what happened. It was Facebook jail. I'm very familiar with that.
The thing that really got it though is basically, let me set up the lore here. For the final few episodes that this was airing, the crew was over for the show where it's over budget, overworked, basically completely disheveled. So they're like, okay, they're gonna cancel us, obviously. So we're going to make a final episode, and the final episode that they made was called Bye Bye Beavers. Now I have a clip for this, but before I get into it, it needs some context. So Bye Bye Beavers was supposed to be the finale for the show. And it basically had the two beavers breaking the fourth wall, going about how they were canceled, and basically talking trash to Nickelodeon about how you're canceling us, because you just want to use reruns. They were like, their whole basis for their network about playing reruns to make money instead of making new episodes.
Yeah.
So this episode made it decently through production up to the storyboard phase before the network apparently caught on. It wasn't a Pinky and the Brain situation where the network was just like, I don't understand. No, they eventually did catch on, and they're like, no, canon. And the reason that they used this to make themselves sound better. The real reason was obviously they don't want to be dissed. But the reason that they use is kind of worse. They're like, we don't want kids to know that it's the final episode. So they keep watching and hope for more episodes, which is really evil when you think about it.
No, but I love the producers of that episode. It's like, bravo, you're going to cancel us? Well,
unfortunately, the episode was never made. However, they did get to the point where they recorded all of the audio for the episode. And in 2006, one of the first voice actors, Richard Horvitz, uploaded this audio to the internet along with some storyboards to say, yeah, this is legit. And so we have what that episode would sound like.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah.
A small clip. Like I said, there's no animation. It's just audio. But a small clip of basically what this episode was and what it was trying to say.
Oh, that's great. Okay. All right. Wow. Let's just take a look at this. Oh, did they freeze? They froze. Yeah. Yeah.
What happens when you're
they're back.
Oh, it's not so bad.
No?
If a cartoon's good, even if it isn't, it's rerun incarnated.
Ooh, does that hurt?
No.
Oh.
Only when you get the later checks. The cartoon being over, guys rerun it over and over, and they make lots of well-deserved money.
Which they share with the people who made the cartoon, right?
Woo! Right. So you see, it's all for the better.
Right.
Even though we're vanishing, we'll be back over and over again at virtually no cost to the network.
That's great,
Yeah.
Nick. It's like immortality without having to show up every day.
Exactly.
And that's basically the whole episode.
Wow. Just pretty much bashing the network for taking them off. Wow.
Oh,
and not
that's
getting
great.
a fair share. That's great.
Even though Nickelodeon did eventually catch on, I'm still surprised that managed to make it past the concept stage for them. Because obviously they've got to present. So I wonder how they present it. So our concept for this episode is we're going to basically mock you and your practices and trash talk you for canceling us.
Yay! Power to the people. No, power to the beavers.
So that's that show. Which,
Okay.
again, I know nothing about, but I am still proud of them for doing that because I think that's what every any show workers who get their show canceled, I'm pretty sure that's what everybody wants to do.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah, not that they burned their bridges or anything. I mean, come on. No. That's great.
They didn't actually. The two voice actors I don't know about the writers, but the two voice actors for the Beavers went on to work for Cartoon Network, even though they pretty much Richard Horvitz claimed that I'm pretty sure that they're the ones who wrote the episode, the voice actors. But no, they got more work there, so.
Wow. Great job, Rachel. Great job.
I'm going to actually let my mom introduce this next one.
Okay.
Because.
Why? Is this an age thing, young lady?
Kind of, yeah.
I got it. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Dilbert the Dilbert cartoon, which I was a huge fan of the comic strip. I used
Comic
to
strip, same here.
And I really felt a connection with it. I think anybody in the working world feels that connection with the boss, with the hair, the evil guy,
the pointy hair boss.
The pointy hair boss, and just basic. It's a really slice of life of the working world. No matter what Dilbert's job was, but Rachel also feels a connection to it. But apparently they came up with a cartoon that I don't remember watching, but that's what we're going to be talking about.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested. I'm going to play the clip real quick, but I'm really interested.
This was on UPN.
Yes.
Oh my God, UPN! I forgot it. That's the Star Trek network. Oh my God.
And they did make a Star Trek reference.
Yeah. Oh, do they? Awesome. That was Enterprise only, though, right? Or do we have Voyager as well?
No, that was Voyager first.
Yeah, Voyager and Enterprise, right? Yeah. UPN. I forgot all about that network. Jeez.
But she's going to run the clip, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
Which is a bumper for.
Yeah.
Okay, and message out for Mike. Of course they froze Mike. We talked about this yesterday, and they're gonna freeze, and we're gonna blah 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 because they can't see us doing this every time they press the clip. Once the clip starts, damn it.
It's Dilbert's latest invention. You won't even feel the laser on your cornea. Now that is embarrassing. Did you see it? Oh boy, I've got goosebumps.
Now look what you did.
Or some other strange growth.
That's what broke up my marriage. It's not the word on the street.
Wow, wild stuff. Don't rip the bandages off, or he'll turn into a charred skeleton. Oh, no, it's Gilbert.
So
that was great. That was great.
So
this one, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this one is an interesting one because this was the Dilbert premiere was the highest viewership UPN ever got.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, bigger than Star Trek.
They still managed to mess it up. Through my research, I don't know if this was malice or stupidity, but they managed to really mess this up. And do you know the story behind this one, Jerome?
No, I don't. I know that they did it. Adams has talked about how pissed he was at the network, but he never elaborated. And then other things happened, which we won't get into.
Okay. So there are a number of things that the network did. Number one is another show that was on UPN, Shasta McNasty.
Oh.
Yeah, Jerome, you're sighing. Basically summarize. I don't even need to summarize this show.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. You can tell by the name that this show is horrible. Okay. In fact, it was so horrible that Dilbert played after this show.
Yeah.
It was so horrible that Dilbert was actively losing viewership because nobody wanted to sit through the Shasta McNasty episode that happened before it. It was
wow.
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning. So obviously it's losing viewership because of this Shasta McNasty show. So they do a common thing to bring in viewership. They get guest stars on the show, right? Completely normal network thing to do. The thing is, they don't announce that these guest stars are going to be on the show, so nobody knows about them being there. They're like, I don't understand why the UPN's like, I don't understand why this is failing. Why didn't they bring it? Because you never announced it.
Yeah, UPN had some real problems behind the scenes. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not announcing stuff. They moved Dilbert's time slot around so much.
Yeah.
That nobody, without announcing it, that nobody knew when this show was going to be up. So Dilbert
after about the third episode, that's when they started moving it around. And if you found it, you were lucky. I mean, I knew some guys that were religious about watching that show, and they were just saying they were huge Dilbert fans, and they couldn't find it half the time either. You know?
I just feel bad for the poor people who tuned in. They're like, okay, Dilbert's at this time slot. They tune in and are accosted with an awful Shasta McNasty episode instead of Dilbert.
Or that, or what was the other one? Homeboys from Outer Space.
Oh, I watched that show.
Okay, I am totally out of the loop. I think I went into adulthood when all this crap was happening. I don't remember any of these shows. I'm sorry.
Now, one of the funny things about on Dilbert that I got to relate to the Star Trek reference was Dogbert goes on the shuttle.
Oh.
And as they're flying by, the pilot goes, "Hey, want to go see Roddenberry?" And they drive by, and there's a coffin with the Star Trek, saucer and nacelles. So yeah, they made jokes about that.
Hey, before we move ahead here, I want to acknowledge a few people that are watching us on other networks that aren't showing up in our comments section here. Hey, Mary, she said never heard of Angry Beavers, but heard of Angry Birds. Martina from Germany says, good morning, cartoon crew. Hello, sweetheart. Of course, Mary says again, hello. So, we're on another platform that doesn't sometimes come over, which really upsets me. But nonetheless, I'm on Facebook page and I'm seeing comments. So go ahead, Rachel. Sorry about that.
It's good that you bring up Homeboys from Outer Space. Well, not good.
No, it's not.
It helps me bring into my next point because I'm not done talking about the network screwing over Dilbert. So eventually they cancel Dilbert because of the low ratings. But there was another reason given that really made the creator, I can't recall his name. Was it Scott McAdams?
I don't know.
Sorry, there we go. Scott Adams.
Scott Adams. That made him go full on against the network. All that other stuff he was mad about, but this he was really upset about. They canceled Dilbert because, and I quote from the network, it was too white and they wanted to appeal towards a more black audience. Yeah. And that's how you got Homeboys from Outer Space. Because apparently black people can't relate to Dilbert, which I find hilarious because all of the black people I know probably relate to Dilbert more than Homeboys from Outer Space.
It was funny in the comic, as the representative of the race you're speaking of. Okay, the comic strip I always read, so it was no problem. It related to office life, so I mean, it's literally a comic strip version of the show The Office, which of course Dilbert came first. But no, I got it. It's just more idiot corporate white old men, deciding for us. So I get it.
Now, here's my question. Before we move on, do you guys think, after I laid out everything, that it was network incompetence or malice that got Dilbert canceled?
Oh, it was malice, totally. Because if you look at what they were looking for, if you look at UPN was trying to be the urban hip network. Okay. And which is funny because of the way they tentpoled Star Trek as their flagship show. And then all the other shows that they did, they even admitted they were going for an urban audience. And Dilbert, I love Dilbert. I thought it was hysterical, but it wasn't the what they were trying to do. You could see that. It wasn't
the right fit for their network brand.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a hot topic. Dilbert was at the height of its strip at the time. And so they thought, hey, this will bring in bodies and boost our numbers for advertising, which is what they really needed. Because they were burning through money, and then they kind of looked at that and went, yeah, but this is not what we, whatever. And they got all confused is what I believe. And so they went, yeah, we got to get it out of here.
So they sabotaged it.
I believe they did.
All right. So, Rachel, can you get through your next 5 and 15 minutes?
She's got 3.
I've got
4.
I got 4, but they're all rather quick compared to what. No elaborate stories. The next one I just find kind of funny. VeggieTales. Who here knew that VeggieTales eventually had a TV spot?
I didn't even know what VeggieTales was.
I knew about the DVDs and the VHSs, but I didn't know about a TV spot.
It's a big Christian cartoon.
It's a big Christian cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you, they eventually aired on Cubo, which is an NBC Cartoon Network that failed, obviously, probably because you've never heard of it. But I'm going to show you the bumper that they had for VeggieTales, and I want you to see if you can spot.
Oh, they froze again. They hit the button.
Yep, because they just pressed that button.
Yep.
Yeah. Once they press that button.
The missiles get launched.
VeggieTales, Dilbert. Oh, they're back, right? Nope. Yep, here they come.
VeggieTales are funny.
Allow me to show you the door. Look, the door.
They're smart.
Involves mystery, mayhem, and maleficence. You sure talk funny.
They go on great adventures. And are guaranteed giggles.
Now that's just silly.
Cubo is a party. Cubo's for everyone.
Next is VeggieTales, as Cubo begins.
So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a distinct lack of God in that preview. And that's because VeggieTales, the show that revolves around, that is primarily a Christian show, Cubo, when it aired on there, said, hey, can you just take off all that Christian stuff? That's not important, right? And they did, because they wanted money. And they did. So I just find that one kind of funny. Technically, they didn't fight with the network or have problems with the network, but
the whole
thing
of their show was
the network completely ruined the entire purpose of their show, which I just kind of find hilarious. Christian or not, I think we can agree that having
core concept,
you should not give up the core concepts of your show for money. So.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how much money, you know. You throw me a big enough thing, I'll change the concept.
Hey,
they thought so too.
Look, sorry, but as the old fart here, it would have worked. I watched Davy and Goliath all the time.
Yeah, same here.
Come on, I mean, even Gumbo to an extent. Gumby, I said Gumbo. I'm thinking of soup. Gumby to an extent was kind of like, oh, okay, I understand that moralic presentation here. I get it.
Yeah.
So that's really all that there is for VeggieTales. I just heard that they took away the Christian stuff for the network, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. Let me put it on here.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you guys a really quick question. You said before they got a show. Where were they before they got a show?
Direct to video.
Mail order.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because no network wanted them with the Christian stuff.
Yeah,
that's weird. Is it?
Go into a Christian bookstore in the children's. They had like hundreds of hundreds of these videos.
Yeah, I see. I saw of vegetables. Okay. Well, I mean, I love broccoli, so okay.
Okay. These next three that I have on the list are very personal to me, and if I go over time, Mark, I am so sorry.
That's okay.
I wanted them to be here.
I always like to keep it close to our original time, but you're doing fine.
The next show that I have is Dan Versus, which aired in 2013 on the Hub Network. If you're
on
not
the what?
Hub Network. If you're not familiar, it's gone now. It was the network that had all the Hasbro shows, like the New Little Pet Shop, the My Little Pony.
They had Transformers on there.
Transformers Prime.
Yeah, they were mainly a cable network.
Okay.
But they did have one non-Hasbro show called Dan Versus, which I watched in between my Little Pony watches when I was obsessed with that.
Oh, this one.
You know about this, Jerome?
I've seen the art.
This show was everything to me back in the day when I was an angsty teenager. So get this premise. This show is about Dan. And Dan likes to seek revenge on anything that slightly burdens him, whether it be from the entire nation of Canada, the IRS, the anger management program that the court has issued him to go to, or his best friend Chris, who has been on the show, his side character on the show forever because of a stupid collectible figure. This show is the embodiment of the what's the word? Like the fantasy, the dream, the self-insert. I wish I could be Dan. And
it's a Mary Sue show.
No, it's not a Mary Sue show. They're not. It's a wish fulfillment show.
Okay.
For me, at least back in the day.
Well, wait a minute. Are you, Rachel? Are you telling us you wish you were a jerk?
No, I'm telling you, I wish I could get revenge on every little thing that slightly inconvenienced me.
So you will want to get revenge on me at some point for putting you on this show?
If I was Dan, probably yes.
I knew it. All right, that's it. I don't have children. I'm so blessed. Okay, all right, go ahead.
And I have another bumper.
Did they freeze? Rachel, you knucklehead. Oh my God. I don't have children. I love it because you want to be vindictive against me. I think they're back. Oh, no, they're not. Yeah, they are.
Feel the wrath of Dan. Dan. Is your name Dan? Dan. Thy name is Dan.
Dan Versus. Watch
So if you
full-length
picture the shows
episodes on
about Dan.
hubworld.com/videos. It can happen only on the Hub.
Oh, I gotta find this.
You gotta, Mark, you would love this show.
I gotta find
I
it.
can already
Okay.
tell. You would
What do you
love
mean
it.
I would love this show? What are you trying to say to me? Don't piss me off. This is 3D, by the way. Look, 3D. Okay.
So this is actually a tough one because this is a betrayal. They were trying to get their show. The creators, Dan Mandel and Chris Pearson, yes, they did name the characters after themselves, were trying forever to get this show on the air, and they originally pitched it to Adult Swim as an adult show. They didn't want it, which is weird because Adult Swim wants everything.
Yeah, that would have been perfect for Adult Swim.
It's the ultimate insult right there if Adult Swim doesn't take you.
You know, that's the funny thing. It would have been a huge success on Adult Swim.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, looks like it.
You guys are like assuming that it didn't do well in the Hub, which is the weird part because it did.
What the hell's the Hub? Who knows of the Hub? I've never heard of the Hub.
My Little Pony people knew the Hub.
Yeah.
And that was the primary audience for the show. Believe it or not, the My Little Pony people were also fans of the Dan Versus, which really shows the age range that My Little Pony brought in.
So the Hub was like Tubi or Pluto or
not really. It was Hasbro trying to be their own network, kind of.
Oh, I see. So Hasbro had you know what? I vaguely remember that. I vaguely remember Hasbro having its own channel. Okay.
And that's kind of, this isn't confirmed, but we're pretty sure that the main reason why this show is canceled, despite having good views, good ratings, is because it was not a Hasbro property. And when Discovery, we'll come back to them in the next one, when Discovery bought the Hub Network, they wanted Hasbro. And
yeah, it was relaunched as Discovery Family.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. Isn't that all Discovery Plus, all under Disney as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not under Disney.
It's
It's under
Disney.
Discovery is not under Warner Brothers.
We'll get to that. That's actually that's actually relevant to the next show we're talking about. But for Dan, this is sad because they worked so hard to get it on this network and they didn't even cancel them. Technically, this show is not canceled. They left it in purgatory, and every time somebody asked about the show, they were basically told, "Oh yeah, it's not canceled," and they're like, "Oh, it's canceled. Can we get details on this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, so the weather today."
So this show is somewhere out there in the multiverse, is what you're saying? It coexists with us?
It was for a while until the creators had to go out of their way to buy the rights back from the show, and they're basically like, "It's over. Please just let us get our show back." And they have it back, and they are trying. There's nothing like confirmed production-wise in the works, but they are trying to get a reboot out, and I am all for that because it's so much better than being ghosted by the network. Essentially.
Hey Rose, you better look out for your daughter. I think she's planning something, but she's getting advice from Dan. Okay, just saying.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that info, Mike. I will seek it out because I know all these channels, of course. I'm gonna have to watch an episode. William says G.I. Joe is also on Hub. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Are you doing a great job, girl? You're down your last two.
Yes. So the this is where Discovery buying Warner Bros. Comes into play. This one is still an ongoing thing. When Discovery bought Warner Bros., they did a huge purge on HBO Max, getting rid of a lot of Cartoon Network shows.
Mm-hmm.
One of which being Infinity Train, which is a show that was one of my favorites when it came out, all the way to season 4. And they specifically went out of their way. It started on Cartoon Network in 2009 for the first 2 seasons. It aired there. And then they made sure to make it an HBO Max original when HBO Max was becoming a thing in 2020 for the last 2 episodes.
2 seasons, you mean?
2 seasons. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what they did with the show, it was still great. Same people working on it for when it was HBO Max original. But because it was an HBO Max original, you could no longer get it on Cartoon Network. And so when Discovery did their purge of all the HBO Max cartoons, that included Infinity Train. And since it was an HBO Max original, there is technically no legal way people can watch this show anymore, which is a complete and utter shame to me because of what this show meant to me and the topics that it discussed for a children's show. It went in, talked about some issues that I have not seen discussed in great detail from other shows of the same, I guess, same genre.
Okay, so what is Infinity Train? What is this?
Okay. Infinity Train is a cartoon. It's an anthology series. Each season follows different characters who end up on a train. And it sort of starts out like a mystery. Each of them has like a green glowing number on their hand. And this number goes up and down. Basically, well, the train is infinite. There are different denizens in different cars, whether they be like deer or rock people or floating, what are those called? Bells that you ring for hotels.
Yes.
Okay. And depending on the actions of the passengers throughout each of their cars, their number on their hand will go either up or down. And I'm just going to say it now because there's no legal way to watch this. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but you know what? Screw it. It goes into how much I love this show. It's a therapy train. It helps you solve your problems. You're put on the train because you're going through an issue. And
so it's the love train.
And working out, basically. And working out your issues makes the number on your hand go down. And when it reaches 0, you can go back home. Right? And if you do bad things that actually like say you're on the train because you stole a cookie from your little brother. If you learn to share, your number goes down. If you become greedy and start a empire, if you establish capitalism in the train, your number goes way up. Depending on your problem. And I have the clip that I chose for this is from the first season. It's from the first episode, and it basically establishes Tulip, the main character of season 1's problem. And this basically sucked me right into the show immediately because of the issues that it discussed. And I will bring...
So capitalism bad.
Look, they froze.
They did.
In love, exciting and new.
Is he gonna be my parents?
Come aboard. Damn it all.
You're the ones whose divorce
I was getting to the
keep
best part.
Everything up, not me. This isn't fair.
No, it isn't fair, but it was an accident. And your dad and I are still trying to figure this out. I know, we're not very good at it yet.
Good at what? Good at being divorced?
Tulip, I just mean scheduling.
What schedule? It's 2 of you and 1 kid. It's not that hard. Fine. Whatever, I can't go.
Tulip, wait. Let's talk about this.
No, I'm going back to my game.
I have never seen a cartoon show basically for children talk about divorce in a congruent way, making it part of the main character's identity and the main problem that she basically has to solve, realizing that her parents did not divorce because of her, that her parents were not happy during the divorce, and that it is better that they split up, and that she can still be happy in this situation, even though there are going to be problems later on the line. I really enjoy the maturity of that.
Yeah, her brother's a big fan of this show also.
Well, let me ask Rachel, how old were you when you were watching this show?
I was 19. I believe, this came out in 2019, so I was 19 years old.
Oh, so it's fairly recent.
Yes, it's fairly recent. That's what gets me. It was a breakout show for Cartoon Network, for HBO Max. It got a huge amount of people to subscribe to HBO Max so they could see their show that was now an exclusive. And then they didn't just take it away from HBO Max. It's that they completely purged it. They took down the soundtrack. They took down any tweets mentioning it. They took down the original pilot on YouTube, which tells me, apparently this isn't true according to the creator, but the only thing that I can genuinely think of, the reason why they would do that is for a tax break.
Wow. All references were removed from the Cartoon Network's Twitter and YouTube.
Okay, let's stop for a minute. Wow. You think that it was taken off the air for a cast break? That doesn't sound right.
Tax break.
Or tax break?
Yep.
Because you think they would have to pay HBO Max for having it on there. It's supposed to be the other way around. Oh, you think HBO, the network itself. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Discovery Plus, the new head of Discovery, is canceling films and TV shows left and right so that they can save up to $3 billion and get tax breaks. That's part of why
I got it.
The film was canceled.
Right. And that became a victim of the chopping block. So yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like I said, that hurt. That really hurt because this show was really special to me. And now it wouldn't be so bad if you could watch it, if there was another way to watch it.
Yeah.
But they literally made it so the only way you can watch the show is to pirate it. And
no, it's on iTunes.
They put it on. It's back on iTunes. It wasn't.
Whoa! Not everybody have iTunes. I don't have iTunes. I don't have an iPhone. I hate Apple. I don't have Apple products. You know.
It says as of August 20th of 2022, it topped the charts on iTunes.
I see. Interesting.
They must have brought it back then because I remember distinctly hearing that they was taken off of iTunes as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also get it on Prime Video, is what they're saying. Also,
that's even better because now we're talking. You know, that's great. Okay, so that's something else I'm gonna have to track down. Thank you.
It makes me feel better because I didn't know about that going in.
Yeah.
I wrote it at the point where it was completely purged.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, now we can access it, and other than Angry Beavers, I'm really willing to watch any of these other ones. I'm more excited about Dan. All right, you got one last one, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
You're doing good.
This is one that I bring up a lot on Roses and Reactions, and I had to bring it up here again. This one also hurt so bad. This is also one currently in progress of being screwed over by the network, and that is The Owl House on Disney. Mark, don't hiss just yet. This show is really good. It's just Disney. We can all hate Disney, but wait a minute before you start hating on the show. The Owl House is about
Stop. Hold on. I'm sorry, dear. You're about to show me a Disney product? Is that what you're threatening me with?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I can handle it. I'm a man.
The show is about a girl named Luz who basically gets transported to a world filled with magic. And this is great for Luz because she is a huge fan of fantasy books. So she's in her element and she's ready. And the main thing about this show that really drew a lot of people in, and people were surprised Disney allowed, we'll get to this, is Lumity. Lumity. It is a ship name between two characters. There is another character called Amity Blight in the show who ends up becoming Luz's girlfriend midway through season 2.
Oh, God.
And hinted at thoroughly through season 1. And they are not, this isn't one of those, we're going to hint at it. We're not going to directly say anything. No, they directly say it. And strangely, this show, right after this, people were getting really riled up about, oh my gosh, it's a lesbian couple in a cartoon. How amazing, how progressive. Disney cut the 3rd season super short without letting the creator, Dana Terrace, know. And she's like, hey, why'd you cancel my show? And they're like, it did not fit the Disney brand.
Yep.
She's like, does that mean it's serialized? Or, oh no, there are other serialized shows who've made it through their entire production, like Amphibia, Gravity Falls. So that can't be it. Okay. Is it because it dealt with some darker themes? No. Once again, Gravity Falls. So what's different about this show in comparison to them that couldn't fit the Disney brand? I wonder. So I picked a clip. The clip that I picked is what I suspect to be the exact moment when Disney decided to can the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm interested. Okay. Oh, did they freeze up? Yeah. Rachel is incredible. She's doing such a fantastic job. I'm so proud of this young person.
Wait,
this is fantastic. Damn it, they're back. Oh, are they back?
Listen
Yep,
to
they're
us.
back.
And I just want to know that Luce is safe.
What do you think Luce would say to you right now?
Probably something dorky, but also sweet. Like how I shouldn't give up and that anything is possible. She'd say that I might be scared now, but to not let that stop me because every problem has a solution. And everything's been so crazy, we've barely been able to spend time together. And I am not letting the world end before we go on a real date.
Whoa, you're You're right. I would say all that.
Ooh, sweet potato! I'm gonna take you out when this is all over, Amity. I promise. No monsters, no mysteries, no deadly duels. It's going to be the most mundane slice of life date ever. And it'll be awesome. I know.
And canceled.
I can't believe I just said that.
And canceled. Oh my god.
That was good. Mark one for Rachel on that one. That was good.
Oh my god, absolutely. I think you're right. Progressive my ass. They are not. I think, well, you go ahead and follow up on this for me, please. I like to hear your thoughts.
My thoughts are Disney is homophobic, straight up. I'm just going to say it. And that it's really that annoying. Like, listen, being homophobic is bad. I'm not arguing this. But it, hurts even more that they pretend to be like, oh, look at us. We're so progressive. We've had the first confirmed gay Disney character 12 times. Look how progressive we are. And then they do stuff like this behind the scenes. And it's like, I don't know why, but the fact that they act like they're so progressive.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
do stuff like this.
And they pull back as soon as they do it.
They pull back as soon as they want fake representation. They're like, you go ahead and sneak some gay people into the background, but as soon as it's in the forefront, we can't. We want to be family friendly. They're stuck in between wanting to appeal to the LGBTQ audience and wanting to appeal to the quote unquote all audiences. So they don't want to offend those Christians with their gays in their shows, basically.
I agree 100%. They're hypocritical. Hypocritical of the most obvious things. I mean, if you look at not every, but a vast majority of their acting staff, from voice actors to Broadway to movies, you have, the LGBTQ community involved in providing you with revenue, but yet you don't want to represent them on screen. It's so hypocritical. It's amazing.
Completely.
It's just amazing.
And my mom will attest this. I will not shut up about this show.
Oh yeah, it's a big talking point in our house, and we have showed it on. I think she showed that exact clip on Roses and Reactions when we did our Gay Pride special.
Because it's beautiful.
Yeah, and hey guys, real quick before we continue, we lost a lot of our audience, and wait a minute. I'm going through my notifications right now, and usually it's delayed. It's sometimes even after the show, but I bet you we got hit somewhere. But I'm seeing a few people popping back in. I wonder who. But we'll see after the fact. After the show is over, we'll know exactly who didn't like. I challenge all these things when they pull us, if in fact they do pull us. But I don't win them all. I'm sorry, Rachel. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure it's Disney copywriting a show that they want nothing to do with, but we'll see.
Nah, I don't think it's Disney. We've done Disney shows and haven't gotten hit by them before.
Yes, it isn't.
Train actually.
Yeah, because look. Yeah, we lost people before you played that last clip. So we'll see. No big deal. We're still on. People are popping on. Chime in, guys, if you're still watching us. I'm really curious. See,
Mary's back.
Mary just said she lost us and she moved over. Oops, I'm back. Now she says she's back. So something you played prior to that clip, and I don't know what it could be because usually
it's got to be Infinity Train.
Yeah,
what do we play? But wait a minute. But was there any music involved? Because usually they hit us on music.
Yeah, it had a background music.
Yeah. All right. Well, regardless, we're back. Mary just popped over to this, so she's back on. Hello again, Mary. So good to see you because I was following you on our other page. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and let Rachel finish up so we can add some commentary ourselves.
So that's basically all the shows that I want to talk about. I'm sure there's more shows that were either screwed over by or actively fought with the network. But those are just the ones I wanted to bring up, either because they are special to me, I found them funny, VeggieTales, or I found their stories particularly interesting. And thank you for having me on, Mark. It was a blast.
No, this was incredible. Real quick, after I give you your accolades, yes, YouTube pulled us, and I am looking at why and what exactly it is. If it comes up, it's twirling right now, so I don't know. Joe did the smart thing. He moved over to Twitch. Thank you so much on that, Joe. Every show, guys, we have content that someone doesn't appreciate. Either it's during the show or it's after the show. So Facebook had a message saying we couldn't comment any longer. Yes, but Joe, could you watch? You couldn't comment, so I'm assuming you still could have watched, which is really strange that they pull comments, you know?
Yeah, it is weird that they do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This is really coming up slow because I think it's this crappy warning. Your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't tell us exactly when that happened. No big deal. We're going to keep on trucking along, doing what we have been doing forever and just suffer the consequences after the fact. I don't want to jeopardize or sacrifice the quality of our show just because we were interrupted shortly. We are giving people avenues to go to if, in fact, they are knocked down. And we try to preface that for each and every show that we do, as well as Roses and Reactions should start doing that. All of our other shows should start doing that. Rose, go get a Twitch account.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. Yeah. So
Get a Twitch account. It seems that Twitch lets us, knock on wood, lets us get away with everything. Mike knows to move over to that, so let's get a Twitch account.
Here's what I don't get is that all these clips are available on YouTube and everywhere. So why can't we just, we're using them for commentary. So, and usually I'm telling you, Mark has to fight him 9 times out of 10. He wins.
It drives me nuts just for that sole fact, look, we got it off of freaking, YouTube. That's your guys' company, yada, yada, yada. Oh, by the way, Rose, we do have MBL Entertainment does have a Twitch account. Just when you, program your shows, go down to the bottom of that list, and we are down there, so you don't even have to open one if you don't, but you can. That's fine. It just adds another Twitch location.
We just need to add a list of where, like the where we can be found. Like what the name of the channel is. So
yeah. I hate to just make it a singular Twitch broadcast. I still want to stick with Facebook and YouTube until they yank us, because it just telling people where else to go after that happens is the progressive part on this. Rachel, incredible. Proud of you. The research that you did. All of you guys, you're great on doing your research on your shows. I just like to write up a script, and hopefully I screw that up. But anyway, so it makes me look more original that way when I screw it up, But this was fantastic, man. We love it when you always are on, Rachel. You have so much background information, and with Jerome being your support there, it makes it for an even greater show. So hope you, it is a great job. Thank you. By the way, this was supposed to be my turn this Saturday morning, but Rose can read when I'm kind of stressed out or I got too much on my mind, and she offers. And when she offers, it makes it fantastic. Hell yeah, take it over. I don't want to do this. I ain't in the mood. You all suck. That's the kind of attitude you would have got from me if I came on air. So this was just absolutely fantastic. I can't wait till you're on again. Would you say next weekend? Oh my God, Rachel, you don't have to do that. You just did one. Oh, you're so generous. You're so wonderful. But this is great. I would love to see you come up with something else in the future. I had no idea what you were getting to by the title of I kind of did, but I'm like, really? There was some. Go ahead, Jerome.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Rachel could do a part 2 on this same subject.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we invite that. Yes, Mike, I need a stiff drink. You're right. That's later. But yeah, I invite you to definitely find some more crap to run up a flagpole. Literally. But it was awesome. Great job. This was wonderful. How do you feel about doing the show today? While I downloaded some background cartoon music. But go ahead, Rachel. How do you feel about your show today?
The show went way better than I was expecting, probably because I did research last minute, but I'm still really glad with how it turned out as a whole. mainly because this is something that I was really interested in doing. As soon as Mom's like, please, Rachel, I need a topic. I'm like, what's a topic that this show probably hasn't covered? And I'm like, what if they usually go into the cartoons themselves? What about behind the scenes? So I looked into some of the stuff that was going behind the scenes on some of these cartoons, and I thought it would be really interesting because everybody likes conflict. Everybody likes talking about conflict. So, and I've heard like tales, mainly Pinky and the Brain, of shows having trouble with their networks. So that's what I decided to do, and I think I had a great time. I had a blast doing this, and I'm glad to be back. Because I think it's been over a year since I've been on Saturday morning cartoons. I've been on this.
Bear with me. I'm fooling around with the volume control. Damn it all. Okay. Anyway, I think you guys have a roses and reactions not today, but next week. Is that correct?
Yep.
Well, tell us any idea of what we're looking forward to on that.
We're doing the TV show Dollhouse. It was one of my favorites. It was short-lived, and so I'm forcing her to watch episodes from it and to get her reaction because she's never seen it. So
which is weird.
Neither I. Yeah, neither I. I've never seen it. That's not with what's her name?
That was Eliza Dushku.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
It was Josh Whedon, right?
Yep.
Before he became bad.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be talking about next Saturday. We were. This is our usual Saturday, but Rachel had plans, but then her plans ended up.
Well, we have new plans.
Yeah, we do have new plans. So
Excellent.
So it takes us like all day to do one of the. We put all these shows together usually on Saturday.
Yeah. That's okay.
We'll be on next Saturday.
Yeah. Look, I love the fact that you cut my job in half. That's great. With you guys prepping your own stuff, but you know what to do with photos next time. No big deal. But other than that, Joe says that was one of Joss Whedon's best.
Thank you. I agree. I agree with you, Joe.
Well, that's
next Saturday, please.
Yeah, that's next Saturday.
We love it when people and Twitch is a really good spot to watch us on. When we do roses and reactions, because a lot of people on Twitch actually we get a lot of comments from there. So
yeah, we're gonna build up our advertising for Twitch because I haven't necessarily provided a link for people to go to. I'm assuming you have to start an account even to get on to watch. So I need to preface that with people ahead of time and let people know, hey, look, Twitch is the best way to watch us, even though you're on Facebook. It's a backup. Go to it, and that'll be great. Other than that, this was fantastic, ladies. Really appreciate it. Now we're all off to groceries and laundry and housework and stuff of that nature. But this is what we do each and every week, guys. Saturday morning cartoons. We just want to tell you guys a lot about our past. I'm learning each and every week. For the 4 years that we've been doing this, I'm still learning. We still have content to show, which is very, very important because we don't want to bore, everybody with, Johnny Quest all the time. But whoa, what I just said? What did I do? My apologies. Sorry, it was a slip of the mouth. That's false. Johnny Quest all the time, all day, all night, every hour, every minute. But we will see you guys. I guess next week for sure. Thank you so much for joining us for Saturday Morning Cartoons. Rachel, fantastic job. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Talk to you guys. Hang on while I play ourselves. Wait a minute. How do I play ourselves out? I forget.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Take care, guys. And here we go. Any second now. Did I freeze?
Checking.
It still says we're on.
Yeah. We're still live.